And we are live. Hello everyone, this is the Void Executive and welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing? I hope this Monday has been okay. All things considered. Luckily today it's starting like it's raining a lot outside, so hopefully it will be a little bit cooler than the previous days. Today we will simply continue the illustration of the young version of one of the two evil sisters. We'll try simply to go as far as possible, but I think I'm not sure we'll manage to finish it by finish the entire thing today. I think we'll be able to do a great amount of progress today, but not finish it, and I have a feeling that we'll be able to finish it on Friday. So let's show the current progress. Today we think we'll be focusing on the frame, because it's the last thing that we started working on from last stream, so we'll pick it back up and see how far we can go. And then if we manage to bring it to a level of quality that I like, we'll work a little bit more on the background of the painting itself, including the figure that will be present behind our main protagonist over here. So, without further ado, let's get started. We were like so, I think. Or wait, maybe... Yeah, okay, it was like this. Let me make a copy of the layer and then continue from here. Right now I am kind of semi-watching the the World Cup, because right now there is Japan versus Brazil, and I am rooting for Japan, mainly because they've never won anything on the World Cup, so it would be nice if they managed to rise to the top. But who knows? Maybe this time they will manage to win something. So for the frame over here, I'll try to bring it to the same level of quality as the other one. Even though I realize that it may be more complex than this one, but I will try to do my best to reach the same type of shading that it is used in one of the references. I think this may take a good portion of the stream, or at least that's one of my first impressions. Again, this illustration in general is taking more time than necessary, which was unexpected compared to the other one. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. If anything, it means that we are taking extra care in order to bring it to the level of quality that we want. Let me also quickly double check if everything is going as intended, although it should be all good. See, okay, yeah. Notifications should be working fine. Okay. By the way, for when working on this one, I am using the symmetry, so it will make things much faster. But I think I'll need to work a bit more on this side in particular. And much like we've done with the main character over here, try to remove these sketches as much as possible. Okay. We'll go slow and steady. And then I think, not sure if I should add like a little twist to these decorations once they are properly rendered in terms of shading. Which is, I want to eventually add in the overall illustration the same black tentacles that she has originally over here. Although I think that maybe these ones will work best when creating the figure, like the parent figure behind. Okay. Try and do this here. Okay, let me try and do it from this point of view. Better, but it can be better. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like this may take the same amount of complexity that it took for when I made the first illustration of Dorothy, when I made the different dolls and stuff. Although it is still to decide. Let's see over here. Oh. Still, it is possible that with the match Japan-Brazil, they may go to because they are still even, so they may go to the I don't know how they may do overtime if one doesn't score a goal pretty soon. I really do hope that Japan wins. Like so. Let's see how it is compared to earlier. Better, but then I will need to adjust a few things. especially since... okay. Because for a moment I thought that this white was pure white, but luckily it isn't. Because that would have been a bit of a pain to try and correct after doing all of this shading. Ah, damn it. It seems like Brazil scored another goal. Let's hope that Japan does a last minute score, otherwise they are out. Okay, now I am considering something. Maybe it would be best if I right now everything is on one single layer. Maybe it's best if I separate the main decorations from the frame underneath. Yeah, I think that would be a better option overall. So let me try and do only half of it, because then I will simply duplicate and then mirror. Let's do the same thing for these areas over here. It will make things look much more clean, much cleaner. Because then it will allow me to properly shade the areas underneath without too much of an issue. And then we do the same thing for this area on the bottom. This is still very much in a rough stage, so it is much easier to do this kind of drastic changes. For this one, I think we'll go this. It will make things look very symmetrical as well. Let's do this part as well. And lastly, the leaf over here. Okay, it seems like the match has finished with the victory of Brazil. So yeah, a bit of a shame. I really did root for Japan, but it is what it is. Okay, now that we have more or less selected the areas that you want to select, we simply copy. So now we have these parts over here. We simply copy these ones, flip them, place them on the other side. Then stitch these parts together. Over here and over here. And make sure they are dead center. I forgot to remove this part as well. Let me fix it right away. Because it will be visible underneath anyway. Okay. now we can work with much more flexibility, because now we can do stuff like this. And essentially do not have to worry about influencing the area underneath. Being able to apply a gradient in a nicer way. Maybe I can even go one step further. Because now we can do something like it, like this. I should have done this one much earlier, like at the very beginning. But at this point, it's best if we do this process instead. Which is, let me see if I can do something in particular. I need to find the tool. Is it this one? Okay. Never mind, I cannot do it with the symmetry. Yeah, so then we'll do with the old-fashioned method. Okay, let me see if this one works with the symmetry as well. No, this one does not either. Yeah, we'll go with the old-fashioned method, which is basically, we are basically erasing the decorations over here, because we already have a separate layer for it, and so we'll try to clean things up as much as possible. We'll do the same thing for this one. Okay, actually, you know what? Okay, let me do something a bit more drastic. Let me make a copy. Enable temporarily this sketch over here. And then clean slate in here. And then essentially do this. Let me use a dual axis symmetry. Okay. Okay, pure color. Make the sketch of this one. I will briefly offset this one. So then I can do this thing. Make things much cleaner. Okay, same thing over here. Yes. Add the darkest area for this part. Okay, so now this time it will allow me to correct things where they are wrong. For example, we could do this sort of shading. And I think we need to add one more layer to it. Okay. Okay. Now we enable these ones. There we go. Much cleaner than this one. And part of the sketch is basically removed. Because now, if we ever want to shade something in the main frame, because of the decorations, we can simply create a new layer only for the shadows themselves, using the symmetry from before, you can simply do stuff like this. Same thing for this area below. Okay. Let me quickly save. Check some of the references. Because I can see how here the colors need to be swapped essentially. Okay. Yes, and now I think we can go back to working on these ones in particular. I'll go with my gut on these ones. I don't have a clear vision on how to make them. I will try to just go with the flow until it looks correct to me. Maybe try to merge them with one another. And try to blend them in with the frame itself as well. and it will also allow us to trim down parts of the layer that we don't need in order to polish it without having to erase the frame underneath by mistake. Hello, just woke up. Welcome to the stream. Hope your day has started on the right foot. I made a few changes, but healthy changes nonetheless, in order to try and fix some of the frame over here. Earlier it was everything on one single layer, which was let me show. It was like this, but I found it very tricky and difficult to try and properly shade it with everything mixed in. So I separated the main frame with the decorations, and now it's looking much more polished. We did not start on the right foot. I have this massive stomachache, which I don't know how I got it. It does happen sometimes. But yeah, like now that I managed to separate the different layers, I can proceed with more flexibility, and it will have a much more polished look, which I think these results are already starting to be visible. Your back is getting really painful. Yeah, no problem. We'll take the opportunity to take a very quick break. It's not the usual break, but just be right back. 2 seconds. Wait, let me write it for anyone who is here. BRB. Let me BRB 2 sec. Be back. Well, just a few seconds, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about this. Let's continue. Let me check if everything is working correctly. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I think I've eaten a bit too much today. Like during the days in which I go to the gym, I always end up being very hungry, but then I overdo it sometimes and end up eating a bit too much. Okay, let's clean this mess. Because now I can do stuff like this without worrying to affect whatever is underneath. Then try to do the same for here. There we go. For this part, I could try no, I don't think this one works well. Okay, let me try and reset this part and do it properly. Okay. And then make some shading like so, maybe. Yes, I think this one. I think this is it. And then maybe this part needs to be as dark as this one. Let me verify if I have, yes, my symmetry is on. I need to remember that whatever change I do to this side, I should do it on this other side as well. And try to make the same effect, maybe. Remember to add contact shadows. I think that maybe for these ones it's best if I do this thing. Let me see if I can. Yes, but with a multiply layer. No, maybe it's best with this part, even if it's not perfectly symmetrical. But I think it does its job pretty well, I think. Oh yeah, I think we should also work on the bottom area over here. Let me try and work on it real quick. Okay. Maybe with a little bit of lightness over here. Then work here. I know that the shapes down here, they are not the exact same on the top, but I do prefer it this way, especially since in here we will add the plaque with the name, same thing as over here more or less. Let's work on these claws as well. think we need to... Yeah, I want to like adjust a few things because the curve here looks very odd. It doesn't look very natural. So let me see if I can fix it ever so slightly. Okay, let me do something like this instead. And then okay. This is 1. And then we need to do the same for the second one. Copy, flip, paste, delete, merge. There we go. Let me see if I have some references for these sort of claws. Give it some shading that so that it looks like a proper crab claw or something. And try and do something very similar over here. maybe increase the lighting of this spot in particular. And then work on this shadowy area. Though I will need to make these shadows a bit more soft, because it will be similar to how soft they are in the references, but I don't know. Because too soft wouldn't make too much sense, I think. I mean, I think this is a good spot for the decoration. Now it's only a matter of removing further the parts that we don't need, especially in these ones. Like these two, they are the parts that need polishing the most. Maybe here we can make it slightly darker. There we go. Oh, by the way, tomorrow I will make the list of games to propose, and I will post the poll in which you guys will be able to choose what game I should bring this Saturday for its first pure gaming stream. I think it will be... I am curious to see what your guys' choice will be. It will be mostly indie games, but they are games that are kind of well known, and I think they are games of good quality. Like, I wouldn't bring them if I didn't know whether I would like them or not. Plus, they are games in which I am absolutely 100% blind on them. So it will be a cool experience to try to bring something on the channel that is completely new for me, like a completely new game, and discover it alongside with you guys. There we go. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I thought this would have taken more than what I predicted. But I think, like, the reason why I started working on this part in particular is to bring it more or less to the same level of quality of the main painting over here. Of course, there will be plenty of things to further improve, but overall I am satisfied with how far I've come in regards to this specific frame. I'll try to continue a little bit more on that, but before I do this, I will do the usual small break, and I will be right back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Let me just drink a little bit of water and then we can continue. Now, let me make a quick comparison on the level of quality of the frame that we've just made and the first one that we've made. Of course, they are fundamentally different materials. But I can say, in this one there are some clear signs of like that they are not fully polished, but that is besides the point. I am very happy with how this one turned out. Then of course we will eventually do some last minute changes at the very end, much like we've done over here. Right now we are still in the rendering phase where we are painting all of the different elements. And then once we have completed all of the different elements in terms of painting, we will then do the usual process where we balance things out in terms of lights and shadows and things like that. I think that for this remaining section of the stream I will go back to the painting itself and try to work on the parent figure, which is something that I think we need to reflect on, because the idea is to make it kind of like this, where it's basically almost like not completely invisible, but it's not the main subject, let's say. It is something that stays in the background. The problem is that in this one it was pretty simple because it is in the shadows, right? So it is much easier to try and conceal things. Whereas for this one, she has a much lighter, much brighter lighting. So I will try to just paint the guy and then eventually see if we can do some tricks, some smoke and mirrors to try and achieve the same effect. Also, I'm not entirely sure about the... Yeah, I remember that I needed to work a little bit more on the hands. Specifically, I wanted to add a couple more hands. These are still very sketchy hands. Let's remove the symmetry because we don't need it. Before I work more on the figure itself, let's work on the hand positioning, because I wanted to make it so that it has 4 arms, and so by extension it has 4 hands. Let's see. It looks a bit weird. Let me see if I can. Okay, reference time. Let me pull up the good old web and see for some references of hands that we can copy. Hands, grabbing reference. Let me briefly switch over to this one here. There we go. Let's see what we can find. Something that we can basically copy and integrate. Yeah, something like this one. Okay. Let's start with this one, but placed differently. Let's go back here. Maybe I should redo the others as well. Also, let me check how big the hands were in the other one. Fairly big. Also the placement, I think it will be very useful. Let me see if I can find some other examples. Let's see. Here I think I can see a couple of them that may be useful. Something like I would make the rough sketch of the hand itself, but then I will reposition the hand. Okay. These ones I want to redo them. Let's just eat them. Let me see if I can use other ones. Mm. Let's try this one. Okay. Then okay. And then last one. Let's see. Yeah, this one here, I think it should work well. Let me place it in a different spot. And this is why you always need to find the references whenever you have problems drawing something. It makes things much easier to never be afraid of copying references. Maybe it's best if I swap these two. Okay, yeah, not too bad. And then for the color, I will use this same white over here. Because basically those are gloves essentially.
we go. And then the last one. This time I want to make sure that only by the hands and a little bit by the clothing behind, that this one is a male figure, because in the other one it was a female figure. They are essentially the parents of our two protagonists. Okay, this is the base, and I think that from here we can try and sketch the other figure underneath, which I think needs some pretty big changes. Starting from okay. Maybe change the angle of this one. And then I don't know, we will see how these arms will look like when shaded. I think I will try and make them, I can recreate them now, then I will decide the sketch of the clothing behind, because I want to keep the same proportions more or less of the first drawing, of the first painting. The thing is that in here maybe I should make the thing is I want to try and make and keep the volumes of each painting pretty much the same, even if they have a different shape. And I do realize how the size of this one may be a little bit too big, so let me see if I can instead make this frame just a bit smaller. Just teensy weensy smaller, and then maybe hold on, wait, let me, there we go. Yes, I think like this it may be better. Let's see the comparison. No, I think it's okay like this. Sketch. Oh, let me also go over here. And change their shading. I think we'll do the same for these ones. For now, I will use this same color over here, although with a smaller, with a darker tone. Let me grab the original image. I will try and yeah, let's try and make these ones of this sort of color. There we go. This one will be very, very dark. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. And maybe over here I can Yeah, I think I will make most of the tip of the hands like with the same tentacles that she has. Of course, these are only placeholders for now. They will be better implemented once we have the shading on the gloves as well. Maybe I should add them to each extremity. Not sure. But at least we have them. As a first try. Okay. Try to shade in general and see if we manage to make it look any good. While keeping in consideration that these are gloves, so we may need to shade them appropriately. And then I think add some highlights, although This one is already pretty bright. Let's see if this one will... This one will work. Let me see how it looks like in black and white. This one is as bright as this one. Almost. This one could be slightly brighter. Okay, this doesn't look too bad. Problem now is behind over here. Because in this one I could be like, I had the luxury of being very how can I say, very imperfect. Also, yes, in here though we need to be more careful, I feel like. Let's try body color. And then try with something like very bright. Color like this one maybe. And that depends, I think I would make them slightly more blue, perhaps. And then for the arms themselves, let me see if I can change the color slightly. And then with this one, doesn't have to be super precise, but just the bare minimum. Okay. It is slowly taking shape, I think. Let's make a copy just in case. Okay. Yeah, with this one it was much simpler, I think. We need to add some sort of layer on top that would hide this figure even more. For instance, like the equivalent of the darkness in here. Here it should be very light and hazy. Maybe not by too much. Okay. Let me work a little bit now on the background. Since we are here. For that I will need, yes, this one. Apply the symmetry. Okay. Then these ones. Hmm. And for that one, we'll add this dark spot. Okay, let me move this one like so. And I will try to replicate. Wait, where did I? Okay. Okay, let's add the flowers. So for this one, I think we'll remove the symmetry. Random flowers in here as well. contact shadows for this area. Let's apply the same down here too. Yeah, it is. We are getting very, very close to its completion, I think. If we go back over here. Something like this. And then just some very straightforward shading over here. Now we can improve the shading of these gloves, I think. There we go. Once again, I think we have made huge amounts of progress compared to when we started. Now there is the main issue, much like last time, it will be this figure in the middle. But other than that, once we have established the effect over here, fixing the rest will be a piece of cake. See if I can work a little bit more on the arms themselves. At least with the first section, because it's the closest to the hands. Let's see how it looks like. Maybe remove parts of this haze. Okay, let me make a copy of this one. Let's see also how it looks like in black and white. In comparison to this one. This haze may be... See what happens if I make it of the same gradient. Yeah, maybe make it not as... Yeah, something like so. Because I still want the silhouette of the creature or whatever it is behind to be visible. However, that means that we'll need to properly shade this area behind. So we also need to use a lower range, because usually the farther away something is, the less value range it has. Yeah, I mean, I think in the next stream we'll manage to conclude this illustration. Pretty much, very much like last time, it was simply like, you know, over this one over here. I don't want to overdo the background, but I still want it to be of the same level of quality. But much like last time, we managed to finish the figure over here and then add all of the different effects. I want to do the same. I think we will manage to do the same thing for this figure in the background. Right now it's a little bit, it looks a little bit weird. I am pretty happy with the hands, however. In the other one we did have some more troubles with the hands. In this one I do like how it turned out to be. I would say let's make a quick snapshot. For us to save. So we went from looking like this to looking like this. I would say that the progress has been quite big, I would say. So the progress so far has been number 1, number 2, number 3. And the fourth one, we are like, this one has taken one stream more than the other one, but for the next one we'll manage to conclude this illustration and then we'll decide what to do next. So this is how it feels like being at the eye doctor. Basically. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yeah, so let me fill you in if you are a little bit perplexed as to why we are making this particular subject. One moment. So yeah, first thing, welcome to the stream. I am the it's just normal eye doctor. Fair enough. Yeah, let me quickly introduce myself. I am the Void Executive and I run Void Corporation. It's this company in the Void where we explore and create new worlds for corporate gain. You're telling me you don't see demons when you put on glasses? I mean, I'm not, I don't use glasses, so who knows? Maybe each person who uses different glasses, they have a different view of the world. Like, can you imagine? I think there was like some movie. If I like, there was this old movie where basically this guy found this pair of sunglasses, and the moment he wears them, he could be able to see people that are in reality aliens in disguise, and he's the only one who can do it. like he has these special glasses that allows him to see if a person is a real human or an alien. And then, of course, he tries not to get caught by the aliens because otherwise their cover is blown, right? Do you mean They Live? I think it's that one. Let me see if it is They Live movie. Yes, I think it's They Live. Wait, let me show it on stream. Yeah, I think it's this one here. I've never seen it. I've only seen like a few scenes, but it does seem a little bit interesting. 1988. I thought it was a little older, but yeah, it is an interesting concept. There's also like a similar concept, but I don't remember the name of the movie. Basically, there is this guy who discovers this sort of secret society of people that wear particular hats, and if you wear this hat you can like open a door and travel to another part of the world, and they work under this entity called the Architect, which alludes at the fact that it is in one way God. And basically the plot is that this guy, he falls in love with this dancer, and the problem is that these people want to prevent him from going out with this girl because they've already planned how each person's life is going to be in order to keep order in the world. And in order to keep everything orderly, like these two people should not meet themselves. I don't remember the name, but it is also an interesting concept. But yeah, so wait, let me just give you a quick briefing to what I am exactly doing, because this is one of many illustrations that I've already done and that I am planning to make. And for that one, I will show you the references that I am using for this project. Essentially, the project is focused around the two characters, two OCs that I've made, which are these two. These are the very first illustrations that I've made for this project in particular. The concept is that there are these two characters, they are sisters, and the idea that I started with is that they are both very cruel, and they possess some sort of supernatural powers. And the way they do that is that they have their own house, their own place, where they have some sort of reality bending control over. Imagine something like a mixture of Alice in Wonderland, Monster House, and anything related to haunted mansions and stuff like that. So my idea is that I imagine those two characters being the villains of a hypothetical story, and starting from these two characters with different illustrations, I am sort of doing world building around them. So, for example, I started with making the design of each one being focused on biological powers, so like tentacles, claws and stuff, and the other focused on controlling puppets and inanimate objects. Is it just in the house? When they're outside they are regular? No, they still do retain powers, but it is limited. Like but they mainly stay in the house, because I was thinking of something like it is both a power but at the same time a curse. A great chunk of the inspiration is from the game Little Nightmares, if you are familiar with that, for the overall theme, mainly for the second one because it is much darker. And yeah, the idea is that one has power over biological stuff and the other has power over like toys and inanimate objects. And starting from this one, I've done some other illustrations. For example, secondary characters. The second girls, they remind me of her. Yeah, like a good chunk of the inspiration is from like Little Nightmares or like old creepy paintings, but also, I don't know if you have ever heard of this game that came out like in 2014, Never-Ending Nightmares, a great horror game, I highly recommend it. Also like Alice Madness Returns, a great game. I just saw the Nutcracker. I can only imagine how many jokes people will make of that. This one, in reality, this one is not a Nutcracker. This one is a cover art for one of the Goosebumps books. I don't know if you have ever read the series Goosebumps. They were quite famous when I was in elementary and middle school. It was a series of mini horror stories for young boys. Never-Ending Nightmares, yes, great game. And this one is a cover for one of those books involving this ventriloquist puppet. This is part of the inspiration that I used for the little dolls over here. But then I also started doing some illustrations involving like secondary characters. For example, this one is the butler of this girl over here. Her name is Dorothy. I still have to choose a name for her, but I think that in the next stream I will decide a final name for her. But for this one, she is Dorothy, and this one is her butler, which is basically a giant, very tall, big mannequin. Then for her, I made a drawing of her pet, which is Mr. William over here. The reason why he looks like this is because throughout some of the drawings I do want to implicitly portray how cruel these characters are. In the first one, it may be visible because she is surrounded by dolls, but some of them, they are like broken, and she adorns herself with the corpses of the dolls. William has seen better days. Yeah, and in the other, since she deals with biological stuff, I was thinking that she uses like little animals as her playthings to modify and torture them and making them into essentially dead space creatures of some sort. Wait, no, William reminds me of Stewie Griffin. I can't unsee it. Yeah, it does kind of... it is kind of similar. And then after we've done these two, I think I will do other like little creatures and little animals. But right now I am creating the illustrations of these two characters, but how they were like when they were kids, to sort of give some more add some more mystery and environmental storytelling. I finished her version of how she was when she was a little child, which was this one here. Then added like a little black. And now I am currently working on her portrait on when she was a kid, which is this one here, which I think will manage to conclude on on Friday, because I do stream on the Wednesdays as well, but I alternate between two different projects. And the idea for these portraits is that I imagine that you are roaming around their homes, and then you stumble across a painting, and that painting shows, like depending where you are. If you are in the home of, if you are at her place, you will eventually find her painting, and vice versa with the other sister, you find her painting of when she was younger, which is something that I've taken inspiration from that too from Little Nightmares, because during the game there are some paintings that you find roaming around. Let me see if I can find some examples, like oh, this one's from Little Nightmares 2. Like, imagine that you are walking around the halls, and among one of the many paintings you find those paintings that I'm making. Why is Far Cry 6 there? Mainly for the pose, replicate this pose over here, mostly for the hands. I took inspiration for the pose. It's not exactly the same, but I can only imagine how it looks. I am planning on making the interiors as well for each location, like both for her place and her place. I'm not sure if I will make them right after I'm done with the portraits themselves, but they are planned to be studied, because they will further improve the world building. But yeah, like in Little Nightmares, if you walk around, you find different mysterious portraits. Same thing like in Neverending Nightmares. So these portraits over here are a what if, when roaming around their homes, you find how they looked like when they were children, and that is what I've been doing. I think like this is this project. The reason I'm doing this project is I have a list of projects that I want to make, but I am always I don't know if it has happened to you, when you think a lot about this project is going to be so cool, but then you never actually start working on it, and so it's all floating into your imagination without becoming concrete. And part of the reason why I am also streaming is because it compels me to put in the work and make all of these ideas that I have in mind a reality. It is a little bit of a shame that you came at this hour, because this is basically the end of the stream. We will pick this one back up on Friday, whereas for Wednesday we'll switch back to another project that we are doing, that it is a completely different theme involving robotic animals. Have the same at the moment with writing. Hey, thank you for the follow. Also, just noticed you're possibly a Finn as in Finnish. Otherwise, I don't know what you mean. But if you mean that you think that I am Finnish, no, I am not. No, I am Italian. I am pizza man, born and bred. Bread as in the food, born and bred. I mean, it is quite interesting, because you are not the first to guess that I am from either from Scandinavia or Germany or anywhere in that region. I will go break spaghetti in half. Oh, that is one way to make an Italian mad. Never break spaghetti in half. Like, the only reason if we ever break them is either if we make like soup. Usually with soup you use, there is a pasta that's made specifically for soup, and it is very small, so it won't make sense if you want to use spaghetti and break them. Otherwise you break it if you want to make it for children. I'll go break spaghetti in half. No, don't do it. No, not macaroni. Let me see if I can find an image. There are plenty of names, but I don't know the exact names. Pasta. Something like this. They are very small. Let me see. Okay, it is Ditalini rigati o stelline, which stands for little stars. Like, this very small pasta is used for soups, and if you only have spaghetti, you can like break them and use them as an alternative. But other than that, breaking spaghetti is a crime. Otherwise, what's the point of using spaghetti if you're going to break them? Like, you will even have you will struggle to scoop them up if you break them. And I accidentally write them in my Discord group chat. Speaking of Discord, if you want, we also have a Discord server. If you are interested, you will. It's not too active, but at least you will have notifications on, like, whenever I either go on stream or if I post some videos on the YouTube channel. Which, if you are ever interested in watching previous streams, all of the streams are saved in the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, with the Twitch at the moment, they do not remain for long. So, but on Twitch, you will get a countdown that will tell you exactly how much time is left before the next stream. So that can be useful. But yeah, so we will. Let me save this one real quick. We'll pick this one back up and on Friday, whereas for Wednesday we will switch over to the other project. I hope you will be present there so I can show you that project as well. And stay tuned, because soon, I think maybe tomorrow already, I don't know, I will see, I will post a poll on both YouTube and Discord in which you guys will be voting on what I should play for the channel's very first exclusively gaming stream on Saturday. So starting from Saturdays will be 100% dedicated into playing a specific game, which will be chosen by you guys, and the streams will play these games in totally blind, so I will not know anything about them. They are games that I'm interested in, and from the VODs I will eventually make some YouTube videos, maybe a little bit edited, like nothing that's too crazy in terms of editing, but just to have like remove boring parts if there are boring parts and stuff like that. Any limits in terms of watching? The only thing is like no backseating / spoilers unless I specifically ask for them, because I would like to experience things as as vanilla as possible. And I think it would be also more interesting for you guys to see me try to figure out some things and discover the story, if there is one, together. I will propose like 4 games to choose from. I think you guys will probably know most of them. I think we will have a pretty interesting choice, and I'm curious to see what you guys will choose. If for some reason, like the poll on YouTube and the one on Discord, they both give different results, then we'll do a second poll in which you will have to choose between those two. Like, let's say that, for example, I give 4 options, right? On YouTube, option 2 wins, and on Discord, option 3 wins. Then I will post one last poll in which we will have to choose between 2 and 3. Well, what else? I mean, it has been unexpected, but quite a pleasant surprise to see a new face stumbling in here. Welcome again to the company. If you are, thank you again for the follow. I hope you like what I'm currently doing so far. I did start this channel like a few months back, and I still have a lot of different projects in mind, so we will not run out of things to draw in the foreseeable future. For any information about the hours and the schedules, you can find the schedules both on Discord, YouTube, and Twitch. Basically, I will stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from I start at 8:30 p.m. CET time. Whereas for Saturday, I will start earlier at 3 p.m. Always CET time. For now, I will use the schedule. If there will ever be some changes in the schedule, I will let you guys know in advance. So, very happy with the progress that we've made for this drawing. I think we managed to finish it on Friday. We will meet each other in 2 days, in which we'll continue the other project. I hope you will guys enjoy the other project as well, as much as I'm doing it. A big welcome to those who have just joined, and yeah, we'll see you in 2 days. Having said that, this has been the Void Executive, and I will see you in the next company meeting. Have a good night, everyone.